And that brings us to what has transpired in Haiti in the last decade or so, from political unrest, the assassination of the president, to several devastating natural disasters. So there's the 2010 earthquake, right? Hurricane Matthew also in 2010, and then this latest earthquake, and most recent, Tropical Storm Grace.
Yeah, there's a full list of it right there on your screen. And although aid has steadily been coming since Saturday's earthquake hit, the question is, will it be enough to really help Haiti, right? Is there enough? Joining us to share some insight into this on the country's recovery and the future is Pulitzer Prize-winning journalist and founder of the Haitian Times newspaper, Garry Pierre-Pierre. Good morning, sir. Good to see you.
Thanks for having me.
It seems, unfortunately, like every time we speak, there's something devastating going on in Haiti. What is the latest with relief efforts right now?
Well, the relief efforts are underway finally after stumbling the first few days. The body count, the death toll has increased steadily. Now they're trying to reach far remote residents. And it's a real tragedy of biblical proportion. And as you said, these things keep happening over and over in Haiti. These are natural disasters, but the damages that they've caused really have been man-made inflictions.
Garry, I think so many people back here in our area, they want to help, right? And so they're looking to see what is most urgently needed. Where should people turn to help? Do you have any advice for them?
Well, right now, I would tell people to hold off and assess the situation, because the professionals are on the ground. They're working. They'll let us know soon enough what they need. Right now, immediately, I think people need medical care. Doctors are heading down there to help with the physicians on the ground who are exhausted by now. And I think people have to do their due diligence and donate money. You have to make sure that the organizations that you're donating money to are organizations that have the capacity, that they can do relief work. They're not just sort of like some aid organization that was doing micro-lending, for instance, and then all of a sudden, money comes pouring into the coffers, and so that money doesn't necessarily go for relief work in Haiti. So we went through this dance in 2010, and we need to avoid that mistake. But I think the situation is dire. But right now, we don't want to rush to try to do something and that's not what we're trying to do. Is what not needed. It is not needed right now, perhaps.
Yeah. It's important people do their due diligence in donating, for sure. But I want to talk about the history here, because in 11 years, Haiti has been hit by 4 big disasters. Why are they so devastating when they occur? And can the country do something to shore this up, to prevent that in the future?
Well, the first question is, why do they cause so much damage? It's because there's a lack of infrastructure in Haiti. The roads are not built to code. There's a serious deforestation issue that's been happening for the last 40, 50 years. And so even during a regular rainfall, you have mudslides in the cities. And so when you have a hurricane or a tropical storm, it just does a lot more damage than it would have done anywhere else. And the situation is that the government knows all these problems that we're discussing, but they have done very little about it. For instance, we talk about the 2010 earthquake. We knew that another one was imminent at some point or another, but there's nothing that was done to shore up, to make sure that people respect the code, building codes, and all of that.
Well, of course, you're right. And so you're citing poor leadership, and obviously we know that there was a political climate that was really fueled by the assassination of the president in July, and there's some new leadership taking over here. But I think, Garry, when you look at it and you say, okay, well, you knew about the issues, and every time it rains, there's a mudslide, and you have this money that comes in. I was reading a recent report on where does that money go? Where is it being spent?
Well, we don't know. I mean, I should be quite honest. The one thing I have to say in this instance, I can't whole cloth blame the Haitian government, because that money from 2010 did not go directly to the Haitian government. It went to the non-profit organizations on the ground, and they decided how they were going to spend the money. And there was no oversight from the Haitian government or the U.S. government, for that matter.
Well, your answer to that question really gets to the root of the problem, which you mentioned a little bit earlier. If people want to help, they need to send money, but they have to do due diligence. The problem here is, how do you do due diligence if you, who's been covering this for as long as you have, still don't know where some of this money is going? How do we know? Is there a place to go to find a verified list of organizations that are truly helping, and we know that money is getting in the hands of the people that need it?
Well, we attempted to solve that issue, but I don't know. We published a list of organizations that we vetted, that we worked with over the years, way before 2010, so that we feel that these organizations are able to, have been able to provide the aid, the credible, based on our assessment. But then there are others who may be as credible as those that we posted, and we don't know about them. So, I mean, you can just look and go to the organization's website and seek the kind of work they've been doing. And if you align with their mission, if their mission is something that's you connected with, then give a donation to that organization. Right. And like I said, we have one on our website. And but I wouldn't say it's an exhaustive list.
I gotcha. Garry Pierre-Pierre, we appreciate you always for coming on here to kind of explain the situation and weigh in on this. Stay safe to you, okay?
Thanks for having me. You too.
Absolutely. Good to see you.